If that had an aged,
Tastes
it
bad.
would cook faster. But that's right, fresh, and it don't cook as fast.
Now, why is that?
You got to get that lard. That lard has got to get out of it. And when you buy it fresh in the market,
It's been iron.
yeah, then it will have the lard in it too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's somewhat air dried.
We get the sausage at Max that's air dried. We love that.
Okay. Then you get that that's real dry. That's just dried more, but it needs to be somewhat air dried. This is very fresh. This is just cooked, so it's not got the water out of it and that kind of thing. So you're having to cook the water. That's what that foam is on there. That's the water cooking out of it.
All right. So, so fresh sausage, I imagine, is going to have a different taste than that more dry sausage.
And the dry is going to be stronger tasting than the fresh is.
Right.
You get I think they've got a 2-week-old sausage over there, and well, I don't know what their days are, but 8 or 10 days. They're different than that than just when they just fresh make it. They're entirely different.
Right. Now, when you were a little boy, y'all kill hogs at your house? So did your daddy raise hogs?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that was our life. That was how we survived.
Are you from here? You might know some Are you from here?
Yes.
My mother was Melba Joyce Parker, and my grandmother was Addie Bell Parker, and my grandfather was Milton Parker. But they would have been much older than you. They would have been quite a bit older than you.
How old do you think I am?
Well, I don't know, but
It's all right, Bill.
what you don't? You're in your 70s.
Go up.
Up again.
I'm headed for 84.
You're 84.
Yeah.
Holy moly! All right.
My next birthday, I'll be 84.
All right.
My mother was raised right across that street of woods over there.
So did you know Noe Barefoot, James's
I'm
daddy?
related to Noe. My
Oh,
mother and Noe were first cousins.
oh, all right now. Okay, I see. We live, we live in my grandmother's house, and it's about a mile or two from here on. It's called Mamie Road now, but it's right off of Holly Grove Church Road.
I live in Benson now.
Oh, in town. Oh, okay.
I've been there since 1945,
Oh, a long time.
and we moved from Blackman's Crossroads to Benson in 1945.
Okay.
And when we moved to town, we brought 8 big hogs with us that we killed.
You killed them after they were butchered, or you
No,
brought
no.
actual hogs into town?
Brought the hogs into town, butchered her and killed them there, and cured the meat there.
Then we have a thing at the
You
house.
tell them.
We have a smokehouse at the house. A smokehouse at the house.
You do have a smokehouse?
Our house has a smokehouse and a wash house and all
Let me tell
that.
you something about that. People in this area do not smoke the meat. The building is called a smokehouse because that's the way they were built. But the people in this area don't smoke the meat. If you go past Raleigh and Durham on toward the west, they smoke their meat up there.
Was it buried in the salt? Covered in the salt?
In a sauce?
Salt?
Well, you done it. You hung it in this building you're talking about, and you put a fire in there, and you smoked it. Actually smoked it. That's why there's cracks in that building.
Okay.
Imagine there's cracks in yours. Is it log or is it?
It's a clapboard like part of pine, but now when we first moved in there was still like 100-pound sack of salt. Is that what y'all did? Packed it in salt?
We would take it just like they're cutting that out over there now.
Mm-hmm.
We would block it out. You see that ham on the back right yonder?
Yeah.
All right. We would
Yes,
take
sir,
that. We would trim it closer than they're trimming it. and we would salt that and put it down on the ground and bank it in salt. It stayed there 6 weeks. Of course, you went the next day. I ain't doing when you went the next day, in 10 days, the next day you would go there and break that salt because it would form a crust. Then it would go down into the meat, and you kept doing this for about 6 weeks. Then you went there and took that meat up and washed it or brushed it and put borax and black pepper on it and hung it up in that smokehouse, and that's where it hung until it lies right on and right on.
So we also found borax and saltpeter. Do you know anything about using saltpeter for curing meat?
It was probably just regular salt.
Oh, okay. It was in a little can that said saltpeter, though. Something else?
I think that was used for something else.
Oh, okay. All right, then.
I know what you're talking about. But that was the process.
Well, thank you.
That building, that's ham building right there.
Oh, it's in the building.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I think they trimmed that other hog out before we got the ham out of that other hog.
Can I ask you what your name is?
W.C. Lee Jr.
Mr. Lee? W.C. Lee
Jr.
Jr. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for talking with
Where
us.
y'all are from over there on that road?
I grew up in Goldsboro. He grew up in Wales by England. And now we live in my grandma's house. That's right around the corner.
She was a Parker.
She was a Parker. She married a Parker. Her name was Addie Bell Parker, but her parents were Hayes. Minnie Bryant Hayes and John Wiley Hayes. But she was 81 when she died in 1997.
The church.
And they went to Holly Grove Church. You know that church?
Yeah, very well. Been there many a time.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh. Do you remember...
I go to Lee's Chapel, which is down 96.
I'm trying to remember. John William
Smith.
John William Smith. Now, he was the preacher that was there when I was... That was a good man.
He was a very, very, very close friend of mine.
Are you kidding me? I tell you what, that was the most good-hearted... Say that again.
One of the finest men I've ever known.
And James Moore.
Do you know James and Gwen Moore? You know James Moore?
Yeah.
Yep, he's married to my cousin Gwen. Gwen and my mother are first cousins.
See, I knew a lot of those Parkers down there.
You did?
My first grade school teacher was a Parker.
Okay.
And she married a Hudson.
All right.
Irma Hudson.
Oh, now she's my great aunt. She was Irma Parker. And now she's another kind person. She used to make jellies in little baby food jars and give them to everybody. And that was the strongest-handed woman because you could not open those jars. She was something else.
She was my first grade school teacher.
Oh my gosh! Now what did she do in school? Was she just nice, or you remember anything you did in that grade?
Teacher.
What do you remember about? Do you remember anything about what happened in first grade?
Very little. I went to school 12 years.
That's
and
good.
I missed 5 days in 12 years. And it was 5 days, 1 week. I had the measles, mumps.
Oh my gosh!
And that was when I was in the first grade.
I got everybody to teach.
Oh my goodness gracious!
But other than that, I was never tardy or never missed another day of school in those 12 years.
Well, that's a credit to you, and I guess your mama for keeping you well.
Yeah. They tried hard and they did well. I'm an only child.
Oh, all right.
Both of them are deceased now. My mother was raised, she walked from where she lived out here to school.
Where did she? She walked to Meadow School. Yeah, my mother went to Meadow School. Sir?
You know where Dowd and McClam live?
I don't. I'm sorry to say.
If you go down 96, across 40.
Uh-huh.
In fact, part of that land is the intersection on was my grandmother's land.
Oh, so the state took that land from
They
you?
bought it.
Oh, they bought it from you. Well, that much at least.
And where the exit coming from Benson to get off on the 96, where it starts, that was my grandmother's land.
Wow. Okay. So what was it before it was a highway? Was it farming? What kind of crops did they grow?
Tobacco, corn, beans, potatoes, basically.
So for market.
And for feed hogs. See, we had a barter system in this country. By that I mean, the farmer raised the products, and he would cure his meat, like we're doing here. And when we had a big hog killing, we'd have close to as many people as here today in the neighborhood would get together, and they would kill this man's hogs today. And when night came, all of it was finished. Even the sausage was ground, the hogs was salted down, the sausage was hung up to dry. Everything was finished in that one day. The next day they would go to the neighbor's house and do his the same way.
So about
Then
how
the
many
next
days
day-
in a row do you think y'all would have to
In
work?
cold weather, it went on for several days. It go from one man to another man. And then you took that meat and cured it, and that's what you ate the next year.
For the following year, just about it.
Yeah, and I said a barter system. If that man needed some extra money, there wasn't no cash money to deal with, hardly very little. He would take a piece of that meat down and sell it, and trade it for his groceries like flour, sugar,
That makes
things
sense.
that he needed.
That makes sense.
But this area was totally dependent on the farm. There was no industry in this area.
Well, it seems like people made a
Now
good.
if you go down 96 out here to Parker Pond or float out special,
Yeah, that's
I've been there when it was grinding corn
back when it was a mill on Parker Pond.
and Godwin's Lake too.
Now it blew
That's
out as
where-
well during the hurricane,
And
right?
My granddaddy taught me to fish in Parker Pond.
In Parker Pond, your granddaddy caught you a fish.
Taught me to fish.
Taught you to
Taught me
fish.
how to fish.
Well, it's too bad it blew out. It was
Yeah,
Hurricane
I hated to
Matthew
hear
took
that.
it out.
Uh-huh.
It looks different now. Mr. Lee, thank you for telling us all that.
Yeah.
We sure do appreciate your
There's
time.
a lot more to that story, but anyway, that's basically how it relates to this hog kit.
Thank you.
And all this equipment stuff around here related to this area too. Big part of it.
All the equipment that
Tobacco
Mr.
barn. That's a tobacco barn. This is a tobacco barn. That's where the tobacco was cured.
That's where here I'll.
Cured with wood.
So over here. Oh, y'all. Do you remember?